Bandits abduct Tsangaya students in Sokoto state. Nigerians groan as commodity prices continue to rise days before the Ramadan fast commences. Herbert Wigwe, wife and son, laid to rest in River State. Senegal kicks off short election campaign after poll delays. Good evening and welcome to the News Hour on Trust TV. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. We begin in Sokoto State, where bandits have reportedly kidnapped an unspecified number of Tsangaya students at Gidambakuso in Gada local government area of the state. Reports say the students were abducted at the school premises on late Saturday afternoon. The proprietor of the school, Liman Abubakar, said at least 15 students are currently unaccounted for. According to the proprietor, the bandits invaded the town, shooting one person and abducting a woman in the process. He added that while the bandits were leaving the town, they sighted the students of the school rushing back to their rooms and decided to kidnap the students. The member representing the community of Gada East constituency at the State House of Assembly, Kabiru Dauda, has confirmed the attack. The police, however, is yet to issue a statement on the recent attack. All right, let's get some more insight on this development. Now, joining us on the program is Daily Trust Regional Editor Yusho Adamu, who is joining us via phone to give us more insight on this development. Yusho, thank you so much for joining us on the news. What more have we learned following this incident?
Yeah, so far the police has spoken. The police public relation officer has spoken. He first confirmed the attack, and he said they were informed around around 12 o'clock. Around 2 a.m. That there was attack in the village, and they mobilized their people to the village. That is Gidam Bakuso, and he confirmed that among the students that they were abducted, some were from Dundaye, others from Gorenyo, and some from Gada local government. Some of the residents that we spoke with said the students that were abducted were sleeping outside their hostel because of the harsh weather. They were sleeping within the premises of the school when the bandits started firing shots into the air. So that's what scared the students to run into the nearby bush. That is why the bandits could not abduct as many students as they intended to, because most of the students ran into the bush. They were only able to abduct 15 students.
Right. The administrator of the school has confirmed that there is an unspecified number that are not accounted for. But what has the police said regarding the number of those missing or who are presumed to have been kidnapped? Is there a specific number? Or go ahead.
We have not gotten the specific number because, like I have said, the students ran into the bush for their lives. So the proprietor was saying that they were able to count only 15. So they were presumed to be abducted. Maybe later, when they saw or returned to the village, the number might not have been 15, or it might be more than that.
Right. Knowing the security gaps, especially in the northwestern part of the country, give us an understanding of whether there was any sort of security measure that perhaps pushed back on this recent attack by the bandits. Were there any police units close to the vicinity? Were there local vigilantes that were operating in the area, or was this an unprotected community?
Sincerely speaking, the Gidambakuso is a village that is very remote, very far from the Gada town. it is more like close to Goronyo than Gada local government. And it shares border with about 4 local governments. That is Goronyo, Ilela, Gada itself, Isa. So you see, it's a very remote, and they don't have good roads for the security to maybe mobilize themselves to the village. Because what the PPRO was even saying, they faced serious difficulties before their men could reach to the village. So it's a very remote area.
So far, do we know whether these bandits have made any ransom demands?
No, we haven't had this, because most of the families were not from there. Like I have said, some were from Aduntai, some from Goranyo. Very few of them were in Gada town or Gada local government. But from what we have heard from the people, none of the families are contacted by the bandits.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it here for now. You sure, Adam? Thank you so much for the update, and we'll keep tabs on this developing story. Thank you so much for joining us on the News Hour.
Thank you.
All right, you sure, Adam, they're providing context to the recent attack by bandits in Sokoto State, where they reportedly kidnapped 15 students or more, depending on the confirmation of the numbers of those who are currently missing. The attack was on a Tsangaya school and the community around that school, where 15 students were reportedly kidnapped by the bandits in one of the villages in Gada local government area of Sokoto State. Moving on to developments in Kaduna State, where the state government has denied reports that it has engaged a private negotiator to negotiate the release of the over 200 kidnapped pupils of LEA Primary School and students of the government secondary school Kuriga in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Muhammad Shehu, described the media report as false. The statement says the Kaduna State government did not hire a private negotiator to secure the release of the students, neither is there a plan to do so. Over 200 students and pupils were kidnapped by bandits at a government secondary school and primary school at Kuriga community in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State on Thursday. In reaction to this development, the Minister of Education, Tahir Mamman, has appealed for the safe release of the pupils abducted from a primary school in Kaduna State and a secondary school in the area. The minister, who made the appeal at a media briefing in Abuja, called on security agencies and Kaduna State government to ensure the safe return of the students unharmed.
About 287 pupils were reportedly kidnapped from the LEA Primary School in Kuriga town of Chikun local government area of Kaduna State on Thursday by suspected terrorists. Minister Tahir said the ministry has planned to visit the school and also be in touch with security agencies, the school, and some of the parents of the abductees. He lamented that cases of kidnapping, such as the current one, are responsible for low enrollment, which leads to out-of-school children in the country.
We as a ministry are really shocked about what happened, and our hearts and prayers are out there for the parents, for the children, and the guardians of all the children, but especially, the young kids, very innocent young kids, who are just preparing for their livelihood for this to happen. Very sad. It's a very sad day for the country. And we appeal to the security agencies to do everything possible, including the government of Kaduna State, to do everything possible to rescue and bring back these young ones.
The minister said the ministry, under the Safe School initiative, which involves insecurity agencies and other stakeholders, will continue to work on how to protect schools across the country.
As we are approaching, we sincerely hope even that these young ones are brought back even before the Ramadan season starts. Our brothers and sisters are already observing the Lent, so we keep everybody, commit them to prayers to the Almighty to protect them and bring them back safely home.
The minister urged security agencies to also speedily respond to the earlier directive given by President Tinubu on the rescue of the pupils.
Now, normalcy is gradually returning to Wurma after weeks of attacks by bandits on the Katsina community. Jamil Babai revisited the affected community to tell the story of resilience and perseverance that has become the new normal for residents. His report.
In the heart of Katsina, a story unfolds. It's not a tale of surrender, but of a community rising from the ashes back to life.
The following day I was there, the third day I was there. We succeeded in mobilizing people to come back. Today, I think 90% of people who are living in Lambo, Wurma, largely they are back.
We have deployed over 120 men today.
The governor's words in the aftermath of the attack ignite a spark of determination as the people of Kurfi refuse to be victims. In a display of unity, their elected representatives make a powerful statement.
For the first 4 days or 1 week, we appreciate the effort of you guys. There's no doubt about it. Appreciate. Thank you so much. The magic, we don't know, the military are real military. We have seen it, how you succeeded in restoring the peace in Wurma community, or the whole of Wurma A and B, or the whole of Kurfi local government. And more importantly, we appreciate your effort in touching some areas which we perceive is a no-go area to any human being. We never believe that you can do the magic within 48 hours. You have done it. We appreciate. And
the government, vowing to restore peace, declared war on the bandits as elected representatives from the National Assembly relocated to Wurma, not with empty promises, but with action.
And people are surprised when I said I'm leaving Wurma in the night. There's nothing bad. If those who are there, they can make a sacrifice and check back to the city. So what of me who they made the sacrifice of voting me and voting my party and our people? So I'm laughing when I saw so many things. In terms of within our party, if you are serious, this is a time whereby you shall come and compete. Not after people have gone back to their villages. No, during the time they need you. Largely, a lot of people ran away. They will just come, spend 5 minutes, condolence, and other things. It's beyond that.
Over 100 soldiers have been deployed to strategic locations, while more than 200 civilian vigilantes joined to bolster the efforts of the soldiers. With the presence of troops and the civilian JTF, life gradually returns to the community as businesses begin to open. Even at night, the town, once cloaked in fear, now holds a glimmer of hope. Jamil Mabai, Trust TV, Katsina.
In other security-related matters, troops of Operation Safe Haven, a multi-security task force operating in parts of Plateau State and other parts of Bauchi and Kaduna State, have paraded the alleged killers of Ardo Kamuru in Dutz-Mbako village of Zango Kataf local government area of Kaduna State. The suspects were paraded at the headquarters of the operation on Saturday. Here is Adu Musa with more on the story.
According to the spokesperson of the operation, Major Samson Zakom, the late Ardo was killed on 27 February 2024 after he was earlier kidnapped and a ransom of 2 million naira was paid. While parading the suspect alongside other suspected criminals, the spokesperson of the operation said the suspected killers of the Ardo and the retired NAV officer were arrested after concerted effort from security agencies.
Security agencies ramped up covert operations and successfully arrested the key perpetrators. They are Bokolo Mohammed from La Duga village in Kacha local government area of Kaduna State, and two other suspects, Mr. Shuaibu Mohammed and Abdul Karim Suleiman, both arrested at Kamaru Market under Ikulu Chiefdom in Zango Kataf local government area of Kaduna State. Confessional statements obtained from the suspect reveal that the late Ardo was ambushed while on transit and moved to Ongwazomo, where he was killed. Preliminary investigation also revealed that the late Ardo was murdered even after a ransom of 2 million naira was paid due to his unbiased stance and insistence on peaceful coexistence in the Zango Kataf general area.
Commenting at the headquarters of the operation, one of the suspected killers of the Ardo, Shuaibu Muhammad, admitted to having participated in the killing.
An kashe shi sanadin ya gane akwai wanda ya gane a cikin su lokacin da za a
We kidnapped him on the road, but ransom was paid. We realized that he could identify one of us. That was when we decided to kill him. The leader of the group promised to pay us 100,000 naira each, but we were later given 20,000 naira with the promise that he would complete the payment soon. One of the killers of the retired NAV officer, Monde Musa, explained his involvement in the killing of the officer.
So I go get the money. And from there, when you bring the plan, later on, you question the country quiet. And me, I can say, talk again. So Thursday, and then I come meet Shaibu. I say, how go do like money there inside this house? How go take Jetta? He say, okay, me come back from Cameroon, go call your own people. As he come back, he go call your own people, then come, place on the dark, then come meet me for one call beside there for Kolta. So, and bring one my guard to come, with them tight in hand. So, from there, the people when call come, I come show them the house, they enter, me I stand from back, and stand opposite the gate too. They go enter inside. Later on, I hear...
Major Zacom enjoy people in the state to always punish security agencies with relevant information that could aid their operations and provide an enabling environment for enhanced security and economic development in the state. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
As prices of food items continue to rise ahead of the Ramadan fast, the Muslim community across Nigeria are concerned about the impact of the current economic climate on the fasting season. In Gombe State, residents remain optimistic despite food prices spike, with anticipation of a decrease in the price of fruits. Hassan Koli tells us more.
Compared to last year, the price of basic food commodities have more than tripled even for basic foodstuffs and fruits. Fruits are among the most popular commodities consumed among Muslim faithful during the holy month of Ramadan. Although fruit vendors are worried that most people may not be able to afford the fruits, they are however optimistic that the prices will be cheaper in the next few days. The fruits are not affordable compared to last year because we are getting them at much higher price due to the fact that they are limited in the market for now. However, I am sure that the prices will crash as fruits will flood the markets in a few days, as there will be high demand due to the holy month of Ramadan. While the price of fruits is expected to go down, essential food commodities like sugar are going up. There is no possibility that the price of sugar will go down, as there is a higher demand for it. It is common knowledge that when the demand is high, the prices will certainly continue to rise. Like many residents, Sabi Ulawan did not buy anything ahead of the holy month as he used to. Things have changed. I used to spend 1,500 to feed my family, but presently I have to spend 3,000 to 4,000 naira daily. Therefore, I will not be able to buy food items ahead of the fasting month. I urge businessmen to help us reduce the price of food items and not to hoard them in this holy month for Allah's sakes. Religious leaders have been appealing to traders to bring food prices down, especially during Ramadan. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Now, amidst rising costs of essential goods, pure water sellers in Kano have raised the price to 20 naira per sachet. According to Trust TV's Idris Jibrin, the increase has been attributed to factors such as the high cost of production. His report.
Water is believed to be among the basic necessities of life that should be afforded by all at no cost. But not anymore, as what started at 5 naira per 1 litre sachet pure water has now jumped to 20 naira.
Well,
the rising price of pure water is as a result of the high cost of living. We've been talking to the manufacturers and they have been telling us that there is too much high cost of production and that they have no choice rather than to increase the price. And that is why we have to increase the price. High cost of production occasioned by persistent increase in foreign exchange are some of the few immediate causes of the price hike.
Increase of cost of production. You know, the economic downturn often leads to inflation rates. The inflation rate has increased and increase of high production of transporting material and the prices of material and also power. The prices have skyrocketed.
According to pure water sellers in Kano, a bag of 20 sachet is now sold at between 250 naira and 500 naira depending on the brand. This is against 60 naira or 150 naira some few days or months back. Well, one bag of 20 sachet of pure water nowadays, we are selling it 250 naira to 500 naira as against 60 naira or 150 naira some months back. And this is because the companies have also increased their price. So we, the retailers, we have to also increase our own price. According to manufacturers of both sachet and table water, unless the value of naira appreciate against dollar, sustainable policy framework put in place and a conducive production environment provided, the worst is yet to come.
If we are looking for solution, we would talk about government support by advocating for government policies and initiatives that support local industries such as tax incentives, maybe subsidies, or maybe government to give access to finance to small and medium industries.
In the next couple of days, Muslims all over the world will commence their annual Ramadan fast, and water is the most important part of this worship. But residents continue to worry about the persistent high cost of living. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now, Funtua town of Funtua local government area in Katsina State is home to the popular MBCGA bread, which has been in the market for over 6 decades. MBCGA bread got its name from the defunct British Cotton Growers Association back in the 1960s. In one of his recent visits to Funtua town, Abdullahi Ahmad reports on the market dominance of MBCGA bread despite the current economic hardship in the country.
The BCG community in Funtua town, headquarters of Funtua local government area of Katsina State, derives its name from the British Cotton Growing Association, which camped and conducted its cotton business in the area from the 1960s through the 1970s. The production of the popular MBCG bread predates to the 1960s by an Igbo woman then popularly known as Mary John, who came to Funtua town from eastern Nigeria. Mary employed one Alhaji Dodo who came to Funtua town from Safi local government in present-day Zamfara state to help her in baking the bread and making it popular as well as acceptable among residents. However, Mary and her family left Funtua shortly after the 1966 coup, leaving behind Alhaji Dodo to continue with the Dambisija bread production. Alhaji later died, leaving behind his son, Abdullahi Dodo, who continues with the business to date. Up till today, the Dambisija bread remains popular among residents known for their strong appetite for bread. I love Dambisiji, now Dodo bread, dearly. It's my best bread for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is the first bakery I know in Funtua town, which remains relevant till date. The bakery maintained its quality, size, and taste. I like it. This is one bakery that stands the test of time because the bakery has never stopped production. Now, some people are trying to fake it, but I can tell you without any contradiction that the original Dambisija bread maintains its position, and a simple bite can tell you the difference. At the moment, Abdullahi Dodo mentioned that the current economic realities occasioned by fuel subsidy removal is negatively affecting the bread production business, making it beyond the reach of many residents. What we are struggling to do is to maintain standard and remain in the market even without profit. The idea is to remain in business and satisfy our customers despite all odds. I inherited this business from my late father and hope to bequeath same to my upcoming children. A loaf of the bread, which previously cost 200 naira, now costs 800 naira, making it unaffordable to many residents. Despite all challenges, Abdullahi Dodo said he will sustain the production to at least provide prospective customers with what they desire. Abdullahi Yuzuma Yamadi, Trust Television News, Katana.
Residents of Jalingo, the Taraba state capital, say the prevailing hardship across the nation is gradually becoming unbearable for many. A cross-section of residents, while speaking to Trust TV News, called on President Tinubu to address the biting economic hardship in the country in order to ameliorate the pains of the citizens. The report.
For residents of Jalingo, it is time to speak out against the rising hunger in the land, as day by day living conditions are sliding from bad to worse. The situation, which had forced Nigerians into protest and led to the invasion of government and individuals' warehouses in some states of the Federation, including Federal Capital Territory FCT, is gradually metamorphosing into a catastrophe if not addressed.
Because of the hardship, they have to hijack a car and then confiscate whatever that is inside to their various homes for consumption. On Sunday, the same thing happened. A warehouse was destroyed in Abuja, a government warehouse. That is to tell you there is hardship going on.
Others frown at daily increase in prices of commodities in markets across the state, as well as the hike in price of premium motor spirit, PMS, which they said wasn't the situation.
Amma kuma abin shi ya gagari kundila domin abin da za a samu yau a ci ya gagare mu.
Now everybody is just surviving because you can't say you are working and the pay is even taking care of your feeding. No matter how much they are paying you now, it's not enough.
The situation is really tough, and Everybody is finding it very difficult. Everywhere is hot.
My name is Muhammad Abdullahi. The situation we find ourselves in today is unbearable.
Abadwigwe, his wife, Chizoba, and son, Chizi, have been buried in his hometown, Omueke, Isiokwa, in Rivers State. Their burial followed a week-long funeral rite to celebrate the life of the late banking genius, his wife and his son. Mourners, including friends, associates, and well-wishers from both local and the international community, gathered at the funeral service to pay their final respects to the banking guru and philanthropist. Present at the service were the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, former River State Governor Rotimi Amici, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory Nyesom Wike, business leader Aliko Dangote, Abia State Governor Alex Oti, the Governor Dakwa Abiodun, and former Senate President Bukola Saraki, among many others.
Our brother has finished his work, though shortly we as a government will do everything with the Wigwe Foundation to immortalize one thing is the Wigwe University. We will do everything within our power to make sure that that dream will continue to live just as he has planned it.
It's been almost a month of mourning. There's nothing that we can do than to continue to express our heartfelt condolences, our sadness over the demise of this family. Herbert was a people's person. I believe he was a friend and a brother to all that came across him.
You're still watching the news hour on Trust TV. Still to come. Unease among poultry farmers in Kebbi State as bird flu outbreak threatens businesses. More on this after the break. Welcome back to the news. Many thanks for staying with us. Let's take another look at the top stories. Bandits abduct Tsangaya students in Sokoto. Nigerians groan as commodity prices continue to rise days before the beginning of the Ramadan fast. Now, despite a federal high court order asking parties to maintain status quo in a suit to stop the appointment of interim managing committees for the local government areas in Kano State, Governor Abba Kabir on Friday swore in to office caretaker committees to serve across the 44 local government areas in the state. This followed the clearance of all nominees by the ad hoc committee of the Kano State House of Assembly tasked with the screening of nominees for appointment as interim management committees of the 44 local government councils in the state. Now, the committee submitted its report to the House of Assembly stating that all the nominees were successfully cleared after a thorough screening exercise. On Friday, the governor, in company of the Attorney General of Kano State and Commissioner for Justice, Haruna Isa, and other members of the State Executive Council and the new leadership of the New Nigeria People's Party in the state, witnessed the swearing in of the officers at the Coronation Hall of the Kano State Government House amidst a massive crowd of supporters who kept cheering the activity. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf at the event says the committee members were carefully selected based on their competence, and he charged them to deliver accordingly. Staying in Kano State, the state government, in collaboration with the State Agro-Climatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscape, has flagged off the distribution of livelihood packages to members of farming communities across Kano State. The flag-off ceremony had over 100 women drawn from neighboring communities of Yang Tabarmi, Gadabiu, and Folgore town, all in Dogwa local government area of Kano State, as the first batch of beneficiaries. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf at the opening ceremony says the initiative is aimed at supporting rural women to help achieve food security and bolster economic sustainability.
Holds special significance as it coincides with International Women's Day 2024. It is a day dedicated to honoring the achievements and contributions of women worldwide. May I, at this juncture, extend my deepest appreciation to the Kano State agroclimatic resilience in semi-arid landscape, ACRISO, for their tireless efforts in not only combating climate change, but also recognizing the critical role that women play, especially our rural women.
In other news, since the declaration of an outbreak of avian influenza in Kebbi State over a month ago, poultry farmers in the state remain concerned about their investments despite the government's assurances of control over the outbreak. Some farmers who spoke to Trust TV News say although the state government claims to have adopted proactive measures against an escalation of the outbreak, the killer disease has remained a source of concern for their business operations. Trust TV's Yusho Adamu sent in this report from Birni Kebbi.
On January 29, 2027, the Kebbi State government announced an outbreak of avian influenza following the mysterious death of about 50 local chickens and 14 peacocks at a backyard farm in the state metropolis. The death of the birds informed the decision of the Kebbi State government to take samples of the species to the National Veterinary Research Institute, VOMJOS, Plateau State for further investigation. After it was confirmed to be avian influenza, the state government mobilized a team of medical experts called One Health to the scene of the incident for further actions.
He went to the veterinary clinic complaining that his chickens were dying, and then our doctors from the clinic went to the house, and on the history they found out that about 50 local chickens were mixed with peacocks, that he was raising peacock in his house, but 14 number of them. So suddenly, after the old chickens have died, the peacocks start dying too. So they packed the remaining peacocks to the clinics to continue the investigation.
Other measures taken by the Kebbi State government in curbing the disease include disinfection of the affected backyard farm and the introduction of surveillance and traceback mechanism to preventing both animal and human infections. Apparently not satisfied with the government efforts in handling the situation, some poultry farmers resorted to personal efforts to safeguard their birds against the bird killer disease. Immediately I heard about the outbreak of the disease, I invited experts who advised me to fumigate the farm. I bought the chemicals and do the needful. I have over 16,000 pieces of chickens in the farm, and as God have it, I did not record any casualties in my farm so far. While additional samples that were taken from 3 live birds markets in Kalgo, Makera and the Birnin Kebbi have been shipped to VOM in Jos, Plateau State for testing, the Kebbi State government has expressed concern about the nonchalant attitude of some local farmers who are not adhering to biosecurity measures in their respective farms.
You know, most of the backyard farms, they are not observing a good biosecurity. That's the major challenge we are facing, because any time, any moment, anybody can enter into their backyard farm, and then them too can get into another house and enter their own backyard farm. So that's the major challenge.
Though the sources of the disease has not yet been traced, poultry farmers have been urged not to panic as the state government has put in place preventive measures against the spread of the disease.
You know, much challenge because what we are doing is that we are still doing it. Normally, we have our people all over the zones, our veterinary personnel, and they are informing people adequately what they should do, and the government has given all the necessary support. And we are doing what we are doing, and inshallah, this situation will be contained within shortest possible time.
Kebbi had witnessed a similar outbreak in the state on the 29th of January 2022 at a border town of Dola Kaina, which was more devastating than the recent outbreak. Yushau Adamu, Trust TV News, Birnin Kebbi.
Now, the Borno State Governor, Babagana Zulum, has reiterated the commitment of his administration to ensure livelihood support and empowerment for women, as well as education support for the girl child. He stated this while celebrating this year's International Women's Day with the First Lady of the government in Maiduguri, the state capital. He says the government will create opportunities for women to engage in vocational education for them to become self-reliant and contribute to the economic growth and development of Borno State. The Women's Day celebrations witnessed the distribution of 150 million naira as well as food palliatives to 3,000 vulnerable women across Borno State.
There is a need for the women to look into the possibility of earning their means of livelihood by themselves, which is very essential. Women provide the necessary ingredient on our own society in terms of development.
The best way to improve on women inclusion can be in the areas of forming women economic empowerment clusters, recruiting, retaining, and developing female talents, involving women and young girls in sustainable agriculture and food security, providing women and girls with access to quality education, supporting them into leadership and decision-making bodies and businesses, among others.
Staying with this year's Women's Day celebration, women in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, have been speaking on how they marked this year's Women's Day celebrations under the theme, Investing in Women, Accelerating Progress. Trust TV's Dana Daniel reports that one common denominator among most women is the belief that investing in Nigerian women will make the world a better place. Her report.
It's March 8th again, and women all around the world are celebrated on this day. From mothers bearing the brunt of daily household chores to those engaging in agriculture, manufacturing, trade, market women and breadwinners. But what does a day like this really mean to them?
My expectation is that the celebration should bring a special thing to we women, and let the women should be empowered so that we can support our men in the community and even our children to go further in education, and we should also assist the community.
I am proud to be a woman. I'm very happy for today, and my expectation is let this country, whatever thing they are going to do, they should involve women, because with women everything is going to go peacefully, and with women they will have to help the less privileged, and with women we are going to make this country to go forward.
In line with this year's theme, women call for a more intentional approach towards gender equality.
My appeal to the government, especially on this International Women's Day, is for the government to look at and take a very, very serious action on this issue of gender inclusion, this issue of 35% affirmative action. We want the government to look at that issue very seriously and give us our rights, because it is our right. And if Nigerian women can come together, if we can all come together as Nigerians, not of political party difference, no, Nigerian women, because what is happening in all the parties is affecting the women in all the parties. Why can't we come together and say, we will not accept it? And then if the government will not do it, then we will not participate in political activities in this country.
In spite of the existing economic realities, women are short of sustainable economic development.
We have millions of Nigerians trained without anything to show for it. They are just wilding the street, nothing to start off with. So we don't want that anymore. That's why we are focusing on sustainable empowerment. With that sustainable empowerment, those that they have already trained before, we have work to do. In as much as we are giving it to them as cooperatives, they will have work to do. They will have how to utilize what you have trained them. So we are suspending all this. We have consulted enough. Let us utilize what we've consulted with and then see how we can gain.
Amidst hopes of a better today and tomorrow for the Nigerian woman, her resilience of today is worth celebrating. Dana Daniel Ziggy, Trust TV News, Abuja.
More from this year's International Women's Day celebration. Women in Bauchi State are adding their voices to the calls for the empowerment of Nigerian women to enable them attain their full potential. They spoke on the sidelines of this year's International Women's Day in Bauchi. Adam Imam has more.
As part of the Women's Day commemoration, the United Nations Children Fund, in collaboration with the Nigerian media, re-emphasized the need to champion the cause of women and adolescent girls empowerment to help better their lives. Some small-scale business women in Bauchi spoke on the day and shared their life experiences so far.
My name is Teresa.
Teresa who?
Energy. I've lost my husband already.
Yeah, sorry.
Pure water before, pure water, why it at the rate of 100 naira. Now the bag of pure water now we are selling 250.
Despite the challenges, my business is helping us. We contribute 1,000 naira per week. So, after 10 months, we realized over 40,000 each, which we shared among ourselves to help with labor in our farms or children's school fees. We also offset hospital bills from the money we realized from our daily sales.
At a media dialogue with the United Nations Children's Fund, health expert advocated the need to invest more on women and girls for better health outcomes through empowerment and other interventions.
The relevance of a better outcome as a result of better improved investment in women around getting them to have more knowledge, creating awareness more around them, and also getting them to be more involved in what we are doing.
The United Nations, however, maintained that ending poverty needs more strategy. Hence, immediate action is crucial to prevent more women and girls from sliding into the poverty line. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Now, a young sickle cell warrior and gender advocate, Favor Patrick, has charged women across Nigeria and across the world to unite and amplify their voices and work towards a collective victory in the fight for equality and empowerment. 15-year-old Favor, despite battling sickle cell, is the president of the Favor and Great Daniel Care Foundation that supports those in need.
As we gather to celebrate International Women's Day, I stand before you not just as a 15 years old, but as a proud sickle cell warrior. It's an honor to address you all on this special occasion where we come together to recognize the incredible strength and resilience of women worldwide. As women, we face unique challenge every day, whether it's battling illness, fighting for our rights, or simply striving to be heard in a world that often overlooks our voice. But despite this challenge, we continue to stand tall, support one another, and push forward towards a brighter future.
Such a courageous young woman. Now, let's talk business. Goldman Sachs analysts Andrew Matheny and Bojosi Morel have projected a significant appreciation of the exchange rate to between 1,200 naira to the dollar in the next 12 months. Now, this amounts to a massive recovery from its perceived undervalued state. This was stated in a Goldman Sachs report titled Nigeria Turning the Corner. The report stated that the forecast is hinged on a combination of positive real rates, capital inflows, and evidence of a shift to a more orthodox policy setup. The report says the lack of credible policy has implied a volatile and sharp depreciation of the naira in recent months, and a cumulative 60 to 70% weakening of the currency over the past 9 months. Away from Nigeria, Senegalese presidential candidates launched their shortened campaigns on Saturday, 2 days after a court confirmed the election will be held on March 24th, ending weeks of uncertainty and kickstarting a competition that remains wide open. Tensions have gripped the country since early February when a bid by President Macky Sall to postpone by 10 months a vote that had been due to take place on February 25th provoked widespread protest and warnings by critics of democratic backsliding. Senegal, a country of 18 million, is normally one of West Africa's most stable democracies. The worst of the crisis appears to be over after the Constitutional Council ruled that the vote must be held before Sall's mandate expires on April 2nd. The new date leaves the 19 candidates little more than 2 weeks rather than the usual 21 days to drum up support. It also means that for the first time, campaigning in the majority Muslim nation will take place during the holy month of Ramadan, which begins on March 11. Let's talk sports now. Here's Adeni Ajishafe with the latest.
A total of 4 medals have been won by Nigerian table tennis teams at the ongoing 13th African Games in Ghana. Nigeria won 2 silver in men's and women's team event, 1 silver in men's singles, as well as a bronze medal in the women's singles. Omar Asa, Yusuf Abdulaziz, and Mohamed El Belia conquered Nigeria's trio of Olagide Omotayo, Quadri Aruna, and Taiwo Mati to maintain their unbeaten run in the men's team event. Asa defeated Omotayo 3-0 in the first game, while Abdulaziz finally halted Aruna's dominance with a 3-1 win. El Belial edged Mati 3-1 to complete the 3-0 rout by the Egyptians. The Egyptian female team continued their unbeaten streak dating back to 2011 in the table tennis team event. After beating Nigeria 3-0 in the final, the trio of Dina Meshref, Hannah Goda, and Miriam Al-Hodabi were dominant against Nigeria's trio of Ofong Edem, Hope Udoka, and Fatima Bello to retain the title at the Games. Since dethroning Nigeria at Maputo 2011 in Mozambique, the Egyptian ladies, led by Meshref, have been dominating the event to continue their reign as Africa's best female team. And in boxing, Cameroonian boxer Francis Ngannou has apologized to fans after his brutal second round knockout by Anthony Joshua. Joshua won his first straight fight by securing the second round knockout win over Ngannou in the main event of the Knockout Chaos card in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. In his words, "Sorry guys, today was a bad day in the office. Tomorrow will be another day." Joshua has now secured knockout wins over 2 fighters who took Tyson Fury a distance in Otto Wallin and Ngannou. Ngannou shocked fans when he knocked Fury down in their bout in 2023. Ngannou shocked fans when he knocked Fury down in their bout in 2023, giving hope to his fans that he could pull a shocker against Anthony Joshua. And in football, Nigerian Super Eagles will take on Ghana's Black Stars and Eagles of Mali in friendly matches in Marrakesh, Morocco. The clash with Ghana Black Stars will come up on Friday, 22nd March, will resurrect memories of a 73-year rivalry between the West African giants, dating back to October 1951, when Nigeria walloped then Gold Coast 5-0 in the Jalco Cup in Lagos. Super Eagles and Black Stars clashed in March 2022 in a playoff for a place at FIFA World Cup Finals in Qatar, with the Black Stars edging the fixture on a away goal rule after a 1-1 aggregate. Nigeria retained the bulk of the squad that finished as runners-up at the 34th African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. Defender Jamilu Collins, as well as Empoli FC Tyrone Eboehi and Glasgow Rangers forward Cyril Delsa are recalled. Midfielder Wilfred Ididi, who missed the AFCON returns from injury, as Bayer Leverkusen's Nathan Teller and Fisal Dele Bashiru also get invite. England-based defender Gabriel Osho and Tanzania-based Benjamin Tianio are teaming up with the group for the first time. Nigeria and Mali clashed in a friendly match in Rouen, France in the summer of 2016, which ended goalless. Mali lost 1-4 to eventual winner Super Eagles in Durban in the semi-final of 2013 Africa Cup of Nations. Nigeria and Ghana will resume rivalry at the Grand Stade Marrakech from 4 p.m. Morocco time on 22nd March. The encounter between Nigeria and Mali will commence at the same venue from 9 p.m. on 26th March. Dark Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishape.
Well, that's our package for you on the News Hour tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we encourage you to follow us across our social media platforms to keep up with our news content and documentaries. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. For myself and the team, thank you for watching the News Hour tonight.